Hello guys, this is the midweek market focus. Today is the 30th of July 2014. I've got a few bullet points here that I'd like to cover with you. One of them is being taken from 2 weeks ago, which says US market keeps on giving opportunities, wait for pullbacks and buy it again. Yeah. So basically I've taken this first bullet point and then we're gonna refer to the charts now in a minute. The next bullet point I've got is the RSI and Stochastic overbought and oversold signals. I'll show you what the settings are and I'll show you how to use it. Another point is basics on esignal. So just a few bits and bobs on the esignal, nothing major. For those of you who are studying now, you can basically be able to use the esignal productively. Okay, so bear with me. Put the charts on top. There we go. Right. So just to go to the first point. So 2 weeks ago, have a look and see what date was that again. On the 16th. And the 16th must have been 16, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, right, okay, must have been this one here then. Yeah, so yeah. So basically this say load test is this on the Dow Jones, another load test, and another load test, and a load test, and a load test. So basically every time you get a load test, it kicks off, load test kicks off, load test kicks off. Came back down. These all of them work. Obviously they're not gonna work all of them. This one didn't work. This load test, whoever took it got triggered in, and today's gone down a bit. So obviously they're not gonna work all of them, but it's got the potential of going in the direction of the trend when you get a load test bar. Yeah, right at the bottom, at the beginning of the phase one. So I mean, this is still an uptrend. If it breaks through that and carries on going down, then it's gonna look a bit more messy. Alright, he's not pushing down. He's not becoming oversold down here. So there are far too many sellers. Yeah. And if you look at it, every time it's oversold, it kicks off. So that is oversold down here. Yeah, then it kicks off, oversold down here. Kicks off, oversold down here. Kicks off. So every time it's down here, it goes up. Yeah. Not every single time. For example, here didn't work. It was down here, and it carried on going down. Then eventually it's gonna stop and it's gonna start going up. Yep. And it decided to stop on the 200 moving average, and then it went up from there. These other ones were spot on. That one reversed. That one reversed. Yep. This one here from here didn't go reverse. Went down a bit further. Yep. So most of them will work. Obviously, this is not a holy grail. If it was, people would just be trading off the RSI then. So it is not a holy grail, but it does work very nicely. Same thing applies for the stochastic. So let's see what else we've got. Going to like Euro Pound today is giving another. Well, just there was definitely a nice high test bar there. This bar hasn't closed. Let's see how it closes. As it is now is an inside bar, inside doji bar. As it is now, the bar is gonna close in like 4 or 5 hours. So you have to look at the bar tonight and then see how the bar closes. That is an inside bar. There's a high test inside bar to be more precise in the direction of the trend. Yeah. So this is the way it is as we speak. It's a nice trend. This one, we put it down here. So that's your trend, pushing down, giving lower highs and lower lows. Now this one is giving divergence here, is getting back up to like 55 or so. It is bouncing off the, is it bouncing off the 20 moving average? Well, here it bounced off the 20 moving average. This belongs to the same cycle. And this one can easily kick off to the downside like that, which is the opposite as the pound Swiss. This one is giving high highs and high lows, low test bar, and this one is kicking off nicely to the upside. That is your trend. Oh. From there like that, then you copy and paste it, and it goes up there. Yep. You can always draw the cycles. Now, some of you might be wondering how I'm putting all these lines. Now, if you right click on the pencil and you put an arrow there, and then once you do that, change the color. I use gray for the arrows. You can use yellow too. We used to use gold in the past. You can put number 2 on it so you can see the lines clearly. Then click on defaults, save, and click OK. This one is to measure the pips, draw lines here and there. Yep. So yeah. So that's your trend, pushing up, giving high highs, high lows. This one is kicking off to the upside nicely. It's providing more buying opportunities, which is great. Let's see what else we've got now. The euro is having a huge sell-off, having a big drop. Mario Draghi must be happy, as he was saying in this area here that he was expecting, well, he wanted a cheaper currency, and there we go. Now it's 1.33, so had a big sell-off. If you look on the monthly chart, it's coming off nicely of this huge level that we have. There we go. So it's a nice triangle and it's coming off nicely. So every time it touches this line, it comes off. Yeah. And it's got a long way to go, I have to say. It's got a very, very long way to go. Yeah, down to the 120s even. So it's got a very, very long way to go. Yeah. It's giving a triangle. It's locked in here nicely. And guess what? When it was up here, have a look at the indicator. See that? It was telling you that it was overbought. And it's reversing now. Here as well was overbought. Look what happened. Reversed. Here was overbought as well. Look what happened. Reversed. Here was overbought as well. And also reversed. Yeah. Now here, for example, it was overbought for a very long time. And it carried on going up now. Because this indicator is locked in from 0 to 100, it won't be able to go any higher than 100. So all it's going to do is to go flat at the top. Yep. Now down here reversed, down here reversed, down here reversed. Yep. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only once didn't work. So it does work nicely. And it, obviously, as I said earlier, it's not gonna work every single time. Yeah. That'd be far too good. So yeah. So that is that's the euro. It's coming off nicely off the monthly chart. If you look on the daily, obviously the daily is much slower. Now it's giving low highs and low lows, so you can wait for pullbacks and look for selling opportunities. That's what you can do. Wait for pullbacks and then look for selling opportunities. Right. So, well, now I've got Apple here, which still going up. The historical high after the well, that's the share split on a 7 to 1. That's the historical high is up here. So the highest point is 100 and something, 170 or so, and just there was 1 pip away from the historical high. And the earnings reports were here in this area, and it took off. As they were good news, for the company, and it almost kissed the 100 level, so it's basically just one pip away from making historical highs once again. And this is coming off slightly. That was a great trade. This one's down here. This low test bar, inside bar, low test. Yep, giving high highs and high lows. Now the indicator is giving the same thing. Oversold goes up, overbought goes down, oversold goes up, overbought goes down. Yep. Here was giving divergence. There. Yep. Alright, fine. Now, so that's what it's doing. It's pushing up now. This most likely is gonna push down a little bit and then take off again. It might come back down a bit further. Yeah, but the market is very, very bullish. That's a previous swing low. So as long as it doesn't take this swing low, we're still gonna be going up. So that's Apple there. Let's have a look. I'm gonna go into stocks. Right, so here we go. Now, I haven't been trading the UK stocks much. I've been trading the US stocks quite a lot, mainly because the FTSE is not in an uptrend. So because of that, I've been skipping most of the UK companies for quite a while now, quite a long, yeah. And so I've been trading US companies quite a fair bit, including the stock indices as well, the US stock indices. This ECJ is coming off. That gave a high test bar in a downtrend, giving lower highs and lower lows. Entry here, stop loss up there, and it's going nicely. And see if it break through this previous swing low. That'd be good. Now, when you put your lines on, your lines will go like that. So just do it properly. There we go. Absolutely spot on. Now copy and paste it, put it down here. So it's following this pattern. Yep, it's following a pretty nice pattern there. Now let's see what else we have. Let's go into the mining companies and see what they're doing. I pretty like mining companies. They're doing quite well. I've got one that is doing really, really well. Kazakh Mines, which took over Eurasian Natural Resources a couple of months back. This one is giving high highs and high lows. I say beautiful low test bar bouncing off the 20 moving average in an uptrend, giving high highs and high lows. Off it went, came back down, two low test bars, off it went again. So now keep an eye on some low test bars coming ahead very, very soon. What else we got? We got Fresnillo. It's also giving high highs and high lows. So basically all the mining companies are having a nice rally, which is awesome. Glencore, I actually came out from Glencore after a very, very long time. I actually bought shares on these. Well, actually not on these. I actually bought it on Xstrata. And then Glencore, which is a huge company, bought Xstrata. And they're not listed anymore. So basically my shares, they got transferred onto Glencore Xstrata. That's the name of it. And I came out 2 days ago on a settlement of 3 days. So I'm just waiting for my broker to basically send me the funds onto my personal bank account, which is great. So yeah, and yeah. So by the look of things, I think I got transferred. It's quite a while ago. I think it was transferred like somewhere down here. So I made some decent money, and now I'm out of it. Let's see whether it provides some nice signals there, because if it pulls back down like that and is giving some clear signals, I might re-enter again. We shall see. Okay, another one that I looked into is huge. Had a big rally. This is Casa Mines. Another one that I've been keeping an eye on is Casa Mines. Here we go. This it's a huge company. It's listed on the obviously on the UK 100. Yeah. Is giving high highs and high lows, but to be honest with you, it hasn't moved at all. This is a long-term investment more than anything else. If you have a look at the monthly chart, you see that we are right at the bottom. It hasn't moved much at all, and that's the top of the range up here. So it's quite a fair amount of pips in the middle. Okay, that was in 2008. This is in 2014. So it will take a couple of years. Yeah. So if you're looking to trade this kind of um, instrument, yeah, what you have to do is to basically sit on it, sit and wait, and you have to sit and wait and just hold it and be patient. That's one of the key elements you have to remember. So this one is giving the higher highs and the higher lows like that. So if we go to the upside there nicely, back down to the monthly chart. So the turning point is happening. It's right at the bottom. It's got a long way to go. Yep, the reward risk ratio is absolutely insane. If you get a nice tight entry, it's gonna pay off nicely. And again, the key here is to be patient. Okay, if you're rushing, it's just not gonna happen. You literally have to hold it for a very long time if you want to make some decent money. You can also trade the phase ones, but that'll be tiny moves compared to what you can actually squeeze out of it. Cool, let's move on to something else. The problem here is a lot of fundamentals behind this particular company. Is based in Joburg in South Africa, and yeah, they got a lot of fundamentals going on basically. Okay, so the management is just pretty bad. Let's see what else we've got. This one is flying. It's also providing high highs and high lows. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay. So this is something that I'll be keen on going ahead with. I'm not trading it. I've missed quite a few. I missed that one. For example, took off again, came back down again. It might give a nice entry like in this area, and then off it goes again. So keep an eye on this one. It looks absolutely beautiful, bouncing off the EMAs there nicely, sitting on the 50, took off again, high highs, high lows. Okay, uptrend and so on and so on and so on. So this is good. Next one. I mean, this mining is probably one of the only sectors that is actually going up, so I'm not really keen on going onto anything else, me personally. If you have high highs and high lows, or low highs and lows maybe, then yeah, then it's fine, because it'll be you have to follow your checklist basically. It has to meet the criteria. There's another one. It's pushing up, but it's kind of like the cycles are not clear. It's kind of like hard to guess what the cycles are. It's just climbing up. Alright, let's have a look at. Well, another one would be oil and gas producers. There'll be another one that could be pushing up a fair bit. Nothing. Yeah, he's climbing up, but it's weak. Next one. Nothing there. Next one. Nothing there. Next one. This one is giving a symmetrical triangle, which is kind of weak. Nothing. Nothing. nothing, nothing, and nothing. This is ranging, so nothing at all. So the ones are mining company. Not much else really. Banks are having a huge sell-off. Barclays, no. Lights, nothing there. Next one, caps, no, nothing there, and nothing there. Right. Yeah. So if they're not an uptrend, I will personally leave it alone. This one is kind of ranging there, and it's giving a triangle there as well. Pretty nice triangle actually. Pretty clean triangle. Yeah, it's a symmetrical triangle. So it's a bit like the euro now. It's a bit like the euro coming off the triangle from the top, and then it's going down to that. So basically, it's squeezing in this section here, and then you have two options. Yep, a breakup is a symmetrical triangle. So what it means is that it's indecision until it breaks through the upside or the downside. So it can go either way, basically. Now, for those of you who are struggling with the E signal, let's say the page comes like that. If you click on this blue toolbar here and you double click on it, comes up. Now, from this axis, you have to make it bigger and smaller. From this axis as well. Yep. So you have to go left click, hold it, and you go to the right hand side and the left hand side. If you click on the chart and you drag it like that, I mean you move it around like that, you'll move the whole chart. You're not making it bigger and smaller, you're only moving it around from anywhere in the chart. Here on this axis, left click, hold it up and down. You can also go back from the middle like that. Now there'll be a white arrow that pops up down here. If you click on the white arrow, it's going to take you straight to the last price. Okay. Now to put it back down where it was, you have to click on this square so you can see everything else. To make it bigger again, double click on the blue toolbar, or you click on the square here. So square, square. Don't never click on the minus and never click on the cross. Only the square. Square up, square down. And so don't fiddle with this neither. Yeah, it's just better to, if you wanna have a look at it, just double click. I mean, click here, or if you click here, you get the menu with the blue toolbar. And if you double click on it, it comes up like that. Okay. Now, if you make some changes, click on page and then save page, so you can save your lines and your analysis. All right. Now these tools here are very useful. That's to measure the pips. Okay. Don't forget that. That's very, very useful. File. You can always save your pages there. You can save a new page. So save page as and just name it with a new name. Okay. So it is all that. I will only use, when you click on view, I will only have these two ticked. And the advanced chart toolbar and the line toolbar as well, and nothing else. Don't worry about those, doesn't matter. So basically just these two out of the whole lot, because otherwise it's gonna take a lot of space. Okay, right, I'm gonna leave it here for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers there.